people want a full story time on how my husband and I met. So I am going to deliver that. So it was December of 2020, just a week before this. So I have to kind of back up a little bit. So my oldest daughter's dad and me were together for 12 years. In September of 2020, things had gotten pretty bad between us. So we have broken up a couple times before. We always found our way back to each other. So we decided that we would live apart for 1 year. And we were still together, but we were like living apart for a year and do counseling and kind of see if maybe being apart for a year would bring us closer together again. And so that's what we did. We got our own place of November 1st of 2020. And mind you, we were together this time. We had keys to each other's homes. We were together. And I started to suspect him of like seeing somebody else, like probably like the beginning of December. And, you know, I told him, I said, like, if this isn't what you want, like, whatever, like we can just like end it because like this isn't our deal. Like, we're not like supposed to be seeing other people. Like, we are together. And, you know, swear up and down no. However, like I said, we had the keys to each other's homes. And so he would come over to my house whenever. I would come over to his house whenever. And something told me to go to his house one night. And I felt like if I surprised him, I would find something. And I caught him in the act with another woman, literally. And so I was like so heartbroken. I was so fucking devastated. And I knew he was on Tinder. I had never been on Tinder in my life before. So when I downloaded Tinder, I thought that like you could search people through like the search, but like that's not how it worked. So I am determined to find his Tinder. And I stumble upon my now husband's Tinder page. And I mean, out of like dozens of men that like were messaging me on there, the only person that I messaged was my husband. Like I saw my husband, and what's so crazy is because I was just swiping so fast that I actually like swiped his, but it didn't like my phone didn't read my swipe. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, oh my God. I was like, who is this? He's so fucking sexy. Like, that, I want that. That is mine, right? And I messaged him. I just said, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, oh my God, you are like so handsome, with like some hearts or something. Just see if he'd message me back. And he did, like right away. And then we exchanged numbers. We started talking, which it was not even supposed to like be like that. Like, I just got out of a 12-year relationship, and it like this was supposed to be like a one-time Tinder thing, trying to get over my ex. And it was literally like love at first sight. And it was because so my husband and I were actually like texting for like a week before we actually met up. My husband was actually convinced that I was a catfish. I was not the person in my pictures. He was like so convinced that I was some like different girl or some guy pretending to be this girl in the picture. So he was actually blown away when he actually realized that I'm actually the person in the pictures. And it was like literally just like love at first sight. It was like magical. We actually met on Christmas Eve, and it was literally like my one of 5 most like treasured magical nights of my life. I knew that night that I was going to marry him. Like, I could feel the energy and the connection, and it was just magical. It was amazing. And now we will have been married 3 years in October. Life is seriously such a crazy journey. Like 4 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be in a relationship with somebody else, married with a toddler. I never ever would have ever guessed this. Life is a wild ride. It really is. But something I like to say is, when there is a ending, there's always a new beginning. Trust in the universe, because the universe always has a plan.